this part, because I wasn't sure just how that was going to work. And I am going to go ahead and ink my edges. I'm going to go with the aged mahogany on this one. Oh, you know what? I probably better close that up and don't waste it. I'll need to remember to ink the edges on that one too, so that this edge doesn't look different from the other edge, because it's supposed to be hidden, and if it looks different, it's not going to be very hidden. All right, I'm going to cut this piece of paper. Okay, I think that's what I want, right? Because I want this. Something's not feeling right about this. What am I, if that is up, let's see if that's all the way in, because that'll go all the way in so that it doesn't get shown when that is on there. Oh, I had this sitting all the way down on it. I need it to be up just slightly, right there. I think I need it to be up a little higher than that. I think I need it to be here, because it needs to, the flowers need to clear the top. That needs to, when I pull out the flowers, it needs to slide out of there. Needs to be more in the center. I know that that's low enough that it won't cover or won't interfere. And oh my goodness. Okay, that's going to go up there, and that's going to go behind them. And this is going to go, let's pull this over here just so I can work this out. Okay, that'll be there. And this, I need the flowers to stay down. I don't want them to be going flipping up on that thing. So that's going to have to be glued back together after I get the flowers on it. Maybe the flowers need to go on this side. And then this will just peek over there. But I still need to be able to write on my note. Whenever it comes out of the pocket. All right, so if the flowers are up here, let's just do this. If the flowers are up here, and the note's in there, when you go to open the note, that's not going to work because the flowers will be in the way to write. So if it's here on this one, if it's here on this one, or even this way. Which means that it would open like that to right. Flowers would be out of the way. Yes, okay. So I'll get the flowers attached on here. I will glue this to where it connects, right, or not connects, but to where it's closed. And then I will just seat that at the top of the writing paper here on this long folded end. And I will glue that down on there for stability to hold the flowers up and to be a sturdy handle to pull it all out. Whew, okay. That was a lot of thinking. I'm not an engineer. I am not an engineer. All right. So it looks like this one has plenty of flat room to adhere to this. This one, I'm going to I'm wondering, I think maybe I'm going to put a glue dot on there just to make sure that all these little stems, I don't know if you can see those. Those are a bunch of little stems coming through from these, oh, I know what they're called, but I can't think of it right now. Those pieces. And so I'm going to put the glue dot over the end of that. Maybe. Oh my goodness, why isn't it sticking? Maybe I'm not going to put that glue dot on there. It's sticking to the ends of the stamens. That's what they are. Stamens, I think. But it's not sticking to the flower petal. Okay, and now it's all wadded up. Can I get that to stick on there to hold those together now? I think it's because this paper that the flower is made out of is so fluffy. I mean, seriously, it's like it's got a fluff lint filter type thing on it. But if I can get that to hold the petals, nope, it just looks like I got a booger. So we're not going to use the glue dot. What can I use? Maybe I won't have a problem at all. I just may be overthinking and worrying about it falling off. But I'm going to put some on there. I know that's a big glob. I want it to dry. I don't want my project to fall apart. Let's go ahead and move on to the notebook. Let's see. I think actually that's going to be pretty. So that'll be the first one there under it. We'll take these off. And I'm going to trim off the little bumps where the perforation is that allows you to tear those. And do that on both of these, the green one and the pink one. And I am going to need to make sure that this will fit up under that envelope, but I don't like them to be straight in alignment. So if I'm going to be a little haphazard on purpose. Yes, that would be me, a little haphazard. A lot haphazard. All right, so this puppy's still drying. It'll go up here with the other drying thing. Let's see. That's a good width. I need to make sure that it's not too long for my journal too. My journal is only 7 inches tall. I can actually make this the part that comes over the top. Yep. To seal the notebook top together. And these will go in there. I'm going to grab my stapler. And another thing that I like to do when I use staples, I have this pair of pliers. They're just flat. They are jewelry making pliers, and I just like to squeeze the little legs down, the prongs down, because sometimes they stick up and catch on things and just add unnecessary bulk to your creation. And so I cut those off. Wonder. No, I don't like those on there. So I am going to put just a little bit of glue right here, and then I'm going to let all these things that I've got drying finish drying, and I will be right back. All right, I still have things drying. This glue is almost dry. It's just really shiny, and I don't know why. At least it's almost dry enough for what I'm getting ready to do. How about that? Let's just go with that. All right, this big flower, you can see how it was punched out of white paper. And I went and I took some of my aged mahogany ink, and I just took my dauber and went around all of the edges, because that didn't look right to me to have all those white edges showing. And just looking at it, you wouldn't know that I had done anything unless you saw it before, which if you go back in the video, you saw it before. But I did go ahead and do that. And I am going to fasten this not just with glue, okay? I am going to glue it on here, but then I am also going to take my stapler up under here just to make sure that it's on there really, really well. And so I need to put on the side flowers first, but I need to figure out where they need to come into. And I think that as long as I'm covering that edge, then I am good with this one. Oh, I need to do the same thing with that one. That one needs to be inked as well. All right, not only did that get rid of the white, but it changed the tone of the flower just a little bit just by having the edges different. And that's something to remember. If you have these paper flowers, you can use your inks if they aren't the color you want them to be, or if they are just slightly too orange or too blue or too green, or whatever. As long as you're not trying to go to a lighter color from a darker color, and even at that, if you're using Distress Oxides, you can still change the color up just a little bit. You're not stuck with what you've got, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so I'm going to take this flower, and it can sit right here on the end. And I'm going to go ahead and glue it, and then I'm going to take the staple to it, because I think if I try to staple it first, it's going to be hard to get the glue in there. And I just started to pick up the stapler. Did you see that? Goodness gracious. I do want to make sure right the center of the flower is glued to that paper. That way I know that my balance is going to work, at least for my flower, even if not in real life for my feet. Let's see. I'm going to go in that far. Yes, because I want to be at the edge of the page. And even though the glue is wet, I can go in with my stapler and staple this back set of petals to the paper. See, right there? Because it's layered. Now look, I separated those, so I'm gonna have to glue it and possibly ink it again, but it'll still work. And I would rather have that staple in there and have to go back and redo part of that than have my stuff fall apart. I'm not real fond of my things falling apart. And then I just took my pliers, forgot the name for a second, and went in there to push down those legs. And I'm going to just put another staple in right there. And once again, I'm going to push down the legs, flatten them. There we go. And so I'm going to put a little glue in there right now since I messed that up. And if the white still shows after the glue is dry, I'll just go back in with my ink. Big whoop. Not a big deal. I can do that. I can tell that it's probably going to show because I couldn't align it exactly the way they had it. But it's going to be good. It's going to be fine. All right, this one, I'm going to do the same thing. It's still got the tacky glue on it, but I'm still going to put some of this glue on there around the tacky glue. But I need to figure out which direction I want this puppy to sit first, because I do need that, to be down. Yep, so I'm going to put the glue here beside and around, but not at the top, because that's actually going to be peeking above. And I may end up having to come back and doing some ink on the back of there, because I'm pretty sure that that may show on the behind page. All right, so let's get this put on there. Right there. I'm actually going to hold it for just a second. Get some of this excess glue off my fingers. All right, and I'm going to come in with the stapler. There's one. Put a little bit of glue in there because that started to come apart. I've had these flowers for a while, so I couldn't even tell you how old they are. That may just be age on the part of the flower. It may be me being a little bit too rough with my stuff, which has never happened in my life. I don't really get sarcasm, but sometimes I can kind of try to pull it off. All right, so I've stapled all the legs, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to add some glue at that base, because this flower seems to not be able to hold its act together. All right, that's what it's supposed to look like so far. Now I need to put the big one on there. I'm trying to figure out where my hands go to pick it up. There we go. Got a little glue on the table. That's okay, because that tacky glue takes so long to dry, apparently. All right, so I'm gonna put glue right in the center under that big ball, and then I'm gonna come in and staple up under that. And then I'll be able to glue it to the writing paper. And these are only paper flowers. They're not even fabric flowers. They're just paper. I'm gonna come out these particular petals because they will go across those other flowers just a little bit, and maybe that'll help give it a little bit of stability. I'm gonna hold it like that for just a second. All right, and then I will come in with my stapler. That's why that didn't want to bend, because my staple was in the wrong place. I need to remove that staple and put a different staple in. So I will have to get my snippers for that. So I'm going to get this flower taken care of first, instead of just leaving it hanging out in midair like I just did. That go up far enough to get us? Nope. All right, I need to get that staple out. Let me get my snips. So if you're going to do something like this, make sure that you are putting your staple where you intend to put your staple. Otherwise, your contraption may not work the way you think it should work. I'm not going to take that little piece out. It's already tightened on the other side, and I have taken it off of where the fold is, so now I can just do another staple in that general area, and it should be just fine. And then I'll just need to go through and again crimp the legs, which you probably can't see because I'm trying to see it. All right, now let's see if that folds down a little better. I may be having an issue with that after all, so we'll just go ahead and take the rest of that piece off. Just pull it out of there. It's not letting my flower petal bend up where it's supposed to. There we go. All right, well, I think that's pretty already. I am going to have to ink the back though, because I don't like the way that that looks. Well, like I said, it depends on where it sits on the page, but it's supposed to be a top tuck. So it's going to be towards the top of the page. So it's very likely that at least part of it will be seen, if not all of it. I did, while I was waiting for glue and other things to dry, I did go ahead and I grabbed a stamp and stamped the inside of the writing paper, just for a little extra touch. Let's see, and this goes, oh, it was this way. Is that right? Yes, because I'm going to glue the backs of the flowers down. Nope, it's, Well, which way was it? I am such a hot mess with this thing. Too much figuring out the mysteries on my projects. Okay, let's see. Does it go in the pocket like that? Nope. It goes in the pocket like, okay, it needs to be this way. That's right. Goes in like that. And I didn't have to worry about any of that card showing at all. The flowers completely covered it up. And then this whole thing will slide down, and then when you pull it out, you've got all of your writing space. All right. So I need to glue this part together, and then it'll just butt up to that part. And I'll glue that on there too. Yes. All right, so I'm going to use this to show me where to put glue on the leading edge of this paper. I'm going to put glue there, and then I'm going to put glue on this edge. And then I'm going to make the papers work to help me spread the glue out, because it is going up under the flowers. So I'm going to line them up, and then I'm going to scoot them. And that's just butting right up to the edge of the paper that the flowers are glued to. Let's see. Yep, that one's right up there, that one's right up there, so that means the middle one's right up there too.